I love that I had it so difficult because it's so easy to handle difficult things now. Those are like my favorite things. It's whatever's hard. Same with like even to styling or new clients. If I'm scared to wear it, if I'm nervous and butterfly, I know it's going to be amazing. It's just that little fear like reassures me at least that it's going to be great. And I grew up in Utah until I was 17. Then I moved to Orange County, California. And I lived there, but I always really wanted to move to New York. So I took a course at Parsons for like advanced oil painting and fell in love with it over the summer. Came home, packed up all my stuff in about 2 weeks, and moved to New York. For me, because my parents were so strict and Mormon, I always felt like really closed off and in a box by having such a strict way of looking at life and beliefs. Like I feel like by being so closed-minded, you're almost ignorant to everything else going on around you. One day I had like enough clients pulling me aside, letting me know like, hey, like if you could actually style outside of Barney's, we'd pay you on the side. So I quit. I quit and went freelance about 1.5 years ago. And he pretty much just approached me with, I know it seems a little bit crazy, but they would love you in Tokyo. You fit that whole like look. The girls there would think your style is really cool. He had another girl in mind he wanted to introduce to a few magazines out there, like Nylon, Elle, Glitter. It fell through, so last minute, within a week, he's like, let's go to Tokyo. But for Japanese in general, like style-wise, they love like big eyes, like doll look, tall. Like I'm very, to them, like they consider my style more rocker, like girly rocker. There's not a lot of that in Japan. I also work for James Rizzi, who's a really big pop artist in Europe. So I started helping with his creative directing, like changing aesthetics of paintings. And then now we're doing an entire collaboration together. That's actually one of the paintings, where I painted the whole backdrop of it, and then he went over it with his art. If I'm going to show a lot of skin up top, or it's going to be DV, then I'm in pants. If I'm going to show some legs, then my upper body should be covered. I like to have there be somewhat of a focal point to everything I'm wearing. So for me, the focal point of this outfit would be these shorts. I've made it my goal to only buy the things that I know I'm going to use. Or there's sometimes I get pieces with something else in mind. Like for example, when I got this, I knew I was going to destroy it. Like I knew I was going to take it apart. It's actually just a men's cashmere sweater that I went back through and completely reshaped. So like I redid all the shaping of it and cut it out the jaggedness. And then this is all my handwork, like this deconstruction of it. Vintage YSL boots that I got from a client of mine that does, she goes in and has like an archive of pieces that I've had for a long time that no one ever purchased, and then goes through and sells them. They're Tokyo, it's the special Tokyo Louboutins, my first pair of Louboutins I ever bought. And I just like was obsessed with the studs and the suede and the leather. These are funny little hooker socks I got in Harajuku, but I love them. They're fun with any kind of shoe. This is actually a vintage Dior shirt that a friend of mine, he does vintage remix. He did a satin bow on top of it for me. So it's 2 pieces into one, both vintage, one with lingerie and then this. These are vintage Missoni, little high-waist shorts. It's my other best friend that lives in LA. They're vintage YSLs. I gave her my Calvin Klein vintage dress to wear at her wedding. This is an old Rick Owens tank. It's one of the first like Rick Owens pieces I ever owned, and I love it. It goes with everything. This is my girlfriend's new line called Bobby Pin. It's all military-based, inspired, with bullets and all sorts of things. I'm romanced by the solitude I feel in Tokyo. It's just so different. I start to get like a little bit frustrated because I do speak a little bit of Japanese, but not, I start to get a little bit lonely, like can't communicate with everyone. However, the fact that I'm allowed that alone time, I get so inspired, I write. It's just different. It's completely different. Yeah, it's just space. And I feel like as long as I keep moving forward, keep traveling, keep trying new things, I'm not going to get stagnant. Because the only way to really let that happen is to stand still.